Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Tuesday, February 25th. I am Darrell Watkins, the senior minister here at Sunshine Cathedral. I'm an auxiliary bishop of the Global Justice Institute and the current president of the Divine Science Federation. With me today is Bishop Robert Griffin of the Global Justice Institute, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall, all of whom minister with me at Sunshine Cathedral. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about our progressive faith community and how you can be part of it no matter where you live in the world. Watch our streaming programs, ask for prayer, make donations, and follow us on social media. We'd love to have you as part of our community, regardless of your location. And if you live in South Florida, be sure to check out the Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts, offering entertainment for the LGBTQ+ community to benefit the LGBTQ+ community. Save the date. Sunshine Cathedral Social Justice Bus Trip, April 28th through May 3rd, 2025. We'll be visiting Selma, Birmingham, Loudonsboro, Tuskegee, all in Alabama. We'll be visiting Charleston, South Carolina, and we will be visiting Atlanta and St. Helena Island, Georgia. A charter bus will depart from Sunshine Cathedral and return to the cathedral. If you're interested in traveling with us, please email Bishop Robert at sunshinecathedral.net. And do so by February 28th. Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There's no streaming TV show like this in the whole world. In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots magazine, the 5th anniversary of Queer News Tonight, with nearly 10,000 stories and 10 million views in 2024. We will produce the 25th anniversary of Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival on June 14th, Pride Fest Diversity Pride in August, and now the near 50th anniversary of Pride Fort Lauderdale in February. We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies. If you enjoy the Queer God Squad, please share this or other episodes with your friends, family, and social media communities.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Anti-Christian bias? Hardly. Trump's task force to study, quote, anti-Christian, end quote, bias is a flagrant attempt to satisfy the most extreme parts of his base. There is anti-Semitism in this country, and there is Islamophobia in this country. But a country where over 70% identify as Christian is not a country where Christians suffer for being Christian. There are Christian churches, Christian camps, Christian television networks, Christian bookstores, Christian radio stations, Christian colleges, Christian day schools, and politicians who use their faith as a reason to oppose a woman's right to choose and marriage equality. The Senate and the House of Representatives each have their own chaplains. Currently, those chaplains are Roman Catholic and Seventh-day Adventist. Party conventions and presidential inaugurations begin and conclude with prayer, and our Constitution guarantees freedom of religion. We have states that were founded as religious safe havens by Catholics, Puritans, and Quakers. The second largest city in the nation is named for angels, Los Angeles. In this country, bias in favor of Christianity is baked in. Why then make the ridiculous assertion that Christians suffer some sort of hardship for their faith? Mostly, it's a cheap trick Trump uses to get support from Christian nationalists who are more dedicated to white supremacy than to the Golden Rule or Jesus' love ethic. White nationalist Christians. You can preach your hate, feel hate, raise your kids to hate, worship hate and violence and cruelty, but you can't legislate or adjudicate hate in the name of Jesus. Your beliefs don't deserve to be privileged over those whose sincere spiritual commitments include ideals of peace, justice, compassion, generosity, education, climate care, women's rights, and the freedom to love. Right-wing Christians aren't oppressed. The oppression they want to enact is being resisted, and that resistance must continue. Let's hear what this panel of Christian ministers has to say about it. Wow. There's a whole lot to say around that. You know, it's it's not really surprising that people are running from Christianity. They walk into a church and expect to feel love, compassion, warmth, welcome, and what they get is hate.
Ugh.
Hate targeted at people that they love, that they care about. I'm noticing, and it's been going on for a while, that there's kind of two forms of Christianity now. Those that hate and those that are working against that hate. And I hope to God, here at Sunshine Cathedral, we are those, absolutely those that are working against that kind of hate.
Yeah, in fact, we say that our mission is to help heal the hurts
Yes.
caused by hatred.
Yes.
And that, wherever it comes from, it can come from your politics, it can come from your religion, it can come from your family. But whatever has motivated you to completely hate people, not because they were mean to you, or not because they were threatening something, but because they love differently than you love. Well, why do you care? Well, how does that impact your life? Or because they have discovered that their gender doesn't match the way their body looked at birth or whatever. Again, complex issue. If it's not yours, why do you care?
Yeah.
So when you hate people, and I hate when people say, well, for the color of my skin. No, nobody cares. People love dark skin. They are tanning all day. They want their skin to be darker. It's not the color of your skin. It's your identity. It's your community. It's your history. That white people don't like. It's not they don't like blackness. They don't like black people. It's a race. It's not a color thing. It's a race thing. Oh, for the color, you should. I don't care the color of your skin. No, you probably don't. But that doesn't mean that you want equity. Right. In fact, you may say you don't want equity. You may be calling DEI, using it like a swear almost, and saying that it somehow promotes people who aren't qualified. You know what? If you're not qualified to be a nurse, you're not going to be a nurse, no matter what. DEI just means you're not going to be able to exclude Black and Asian and Latino and wheelchair and gay, and that any good nurse gets a shot. That's what DEI is. And if you are so against it, here's the new rule. You got to say the whole thing. Let people know you are against diversity. Let people know you are against equity. Let people know you're against inclusion, because that's what DEI is. So just tell the truth, come clean, that you are against diversity, equity, inclusion. So yeah, this is not a faith thing. No one's trying to root out your faith. Not only are there more Christians than anybody else in this country, there are more Christians than anybody else in the world. And as a voting bloc, there are more evangelical Christians active in the political system than other kinds of Christians.
Yes.
And then within evangelical Christianity, there is a large and growing number of fundamentalists. So, and that fundamentalists, which are also white supremacists and white nationalists, that's the group. They're not worried that they're being repressed. They're worried that they will not be allowed to repress others, because somehow for them, religious freedom means my religion means I can treat you any kind of way, including dismissing your religion.
Yes.
Somehow your freedom of religion that may say women have agency and should be able to control their own body. That says that Adam and Eve both were made in the divine image. And so they both have divine agency, and men shouldn't be able to make women's choices for them. That is a biblical argument. That is a spiritual value. Why is that less valuable than someone says, well, I think that, an ovum that was fertilized 2 seconds ago is a person. You can believe that, but why is that belief privileged over any other belief? So yes, this is a scam. This is a scam. This is about power. This is a way to weaponize religion. We're going to investigate. You're not going to investigate anything? There's nothing to investigate. I'm going to investigate all the ways that billionaires are oppressed. That'll be a short investigation. So yeah, this is all about power. Christians can't be oppressed. Just like, you can't be a black racist, right? In a country, I guess you could be in Nigeria or Kenya, but in the U.S. you can't be a black racist because you lack the privilege. You lack the access to power. You can only be the ist if you can ruin it for other people, if you can control, if you can rig the system, if you can game the system. Black people don't have that power yet. Latin American people might soon, which is why you see this rush of fascistic, nationalistic, oppressive action in this country, because brown is about to be equal to and greater than white in numbers. African Americans are always going to be about 20%, 25%. They're never going to take over. Even if they're 30%, Latin are like 50, 51, 49, 52. And they're horrified. They're horrified. That's what all the queers are always going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 10%. Women, always 50, 51%, but a lot of built-in disadvantages. So you've got to be 60% to even be on the voting play for. So, but Latin Americans, they're there. And so there's a two-part strategy of trying to win some of them over to it, and the rest keep out, along with everyone else, with draconian executive orders and legislation and rulings. So yeah,
wow.
Christian bias my ass. This is one more power grab with the oligarch class.
Mm-hmm.
That's like when Dorothy went to see The Wizard of Oz, and she went behind the curtain,
mm-hmm.
and he said, "Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain."
Yeah.
You just ripped that curtain right off. And America, listen to what Bishop just said, that it's not about anything other than control, power. And our Spanish-speaking brethren are the people who are going to control much of the country. It's happening in Texas, it's happening in California, it's happening in Arizona. The problem right now for me is that the message that they're hearing is not what's actually going on in the government. They heard a lot of love before the election. They're seeing now that that love was not for them. It was for the idea that certain people could keep power for a little bit longer because it can't last
That's
much
right.
longer.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe that we are at a point, a tipping point in this country where are we going to have, remember how we railed against the theocracies of the Middle East? We are right near where we're going to have to decide whether we want an American
But that was the
theocracy.
Quran. That was Muhammad.
Yeah,
Those were
that
false.
was
Our
everything
book is real. Our guy is the real
Our
deal.
God is the real God, and that's what's going
Make
to
your ass
destroy
wanna dip a
this,
snuff.
this country.
I think we should just have called this the Christian buy, B-U-Y, because this is all, they bought y'all.
Yes, they sure
They
did.
bought you, and you believed the buy, you believed it, you wrote it, you got the bill of sales, and now it's being returned insufficient funds.
Hello.
And you don't have anything to do with it. You can't even take it back to the bank and say, hey, this was a scam. So guess who's about to own the banks? So this is just a Christian, and I'm sorry that you have to think about it as Christian bias when there's First Baptist, Second Baptist, Third Baptist, Fourth Baptist. Christianity is rampant in this country.
Yes, it
when
is.
you have 4 Baptist churches on the same corner, you don't have to worry about Christianity in America. There's a lot of it going on. And all this really about is, like you've all said, this is about control. And in the script that Dr. Atwell read, the one line that caught me, I want to reread this again. You can preach your hate, feel hate, raise your kids to hate, worship hate and violence and cruelty, but you can't legislate or adjudicate hate in the name of Jesus. And I'm sick of these folks who pray in the name of Jesus, because that ain't going to fix anything for you. In the name of Jesus. Now, you might want to just change that a little bit for your folks to say in the name of Trump, because that's who you're going to want to do it for you.
Yeah.
And that's who you think Jesus is right now. But that in the name of Trump ain't going to last long either. So,
And
God
so it
bless
is.
you, God keep you.
God forget you.
Uh,
Oh, can I say that?
God bless your souls.
Yeah.
Bless this.
I'm trying to give you a southern blessing, but I can't even find the strength to get that to you.
Well, because they have cheapened our faith. We are angry about it.
Yeah.
Because they've cheapened. They've made it be about who to exclude,
That's
and who
right.
to demonize,
That's right.
and who to dehumanize, and who to vilify, also that they can feel a little bit better. And this is a hateful movement. It's always been hateful. These are the people that protected slavery. These are the people that encouraged the internment of Japanese Americans. These are the people that took the land and lives from the native inhabitants. These are the people that didn't want women to vote. These are the people who fought tooth and nail against choice and against marriage equality. This is a hateful block of people, and they call their hatred values. So what they're really worshiping is hatred. They're worshiping their own prejudices. And we were talking about the number of Latino. That's why all this immigration stuff is being so draconian and so cruel. They're doing everything they can. But also not only fear, but just pure out hate. Like I said, African American, certainly not in the next 100 years, will never be close to half. So why are they so targeted? Just pure hate.
Yeah.
Because there is this, it's in the white DNA, especially in the South, that those people just aren't supposed to be good enough. They're not supposed to have the equal opportunity. They're not supposed to teach on our kids. They're not supposed to be the nurse in my emergency room. They're not supposed to live next door to me. That's just in the DNA, and we haven't gotten rid of that yet.
No.
Like, you're not going to be an electoral threat. And yet, the shit was flying at you before anybody else. And so, yeah, this is evil. This is mean. This is cruel. This is about power. And we're going to say, yeah, we've said it 10 times. We may say it 10 more in the next 10 seconds.
Yes.
Because it's the truth. It really is the truth. And, you know, if it were about love, you'd see more hospitals out of it. You'd see more training for foster parents out of it. You'd see more prenatal care out of it. You'd see free school lunches everywhere out of it. But all you see is trying to keep people from getting help, and keep people from getting opportunity, and keep people from having equal protection under the law. And that's not democracy, and it's not Jesus.
Yeah.
You can have it. You are entitled to it. You can worship it. You can put the sign on your church, First Church of Stank. You get to. But that you have co-opted a revolutionary who fought against the empire in peaceful ways, that in a non-militaristic way took on the biggest military in the world and was crucified for it, and was still so meaningful to people that they couldn't stop following after he died. That you've taken that name as your mascot and fucked it up. Yeah, we're mad about it.
So there.
And
That
so
was
it
very
was-
clear.
All right.
Well, that's today for the Queer God Squad.
Before we go, we want to invite you to join Sunshine Cathedral on a wonderful travel experience and help our mission for our community. Join us on the Florida AIDS Walk Pride Cruise. This unique 3-day cruise will sail from Miami on the $1 billion and ultra deluxe 170,000-ton MSC Seascape on November 2nd, 2025. The cruise is for the Florida AIDS Walk. Your participation helps 13 vital beneficiaries in our community. The cruise is an incredible value starting at just $199 and is also a fundraiser for the Sunshine Cathedral. Parties, special events, and more aboard, including a special unlimited beverage and open bar with Wi-Fi for all 3 days for just $68. We invite you to join us on this amazing cruise for fun. This vital cruise for good.
Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that. We all are in this together.
And also remember, you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.